Welcome to this demonstration of RISKsolution, the program that helps you manage risks in your business. RISKsolution's Access Management feature lets users log in individually by inputting a username and a password. The tables to the right of the Start page show the most recently active risk analysis, action plans, and reports. On the left-hand side, there are icons for the program's basic functions. You can reach these through the Start menu as well. To start a new risk analysis, click Create New Risk Analysis. Now select the category in the Basic Conditions section. Later on, you will be given suggestions of risks, and these suggestions will be based on which category you choose at this point. You can either choose one of the listed standard categories or create a new category of your choice. At this point, you may also want to security classify the analysis. This means that you can determine what level of security you want to apply to the information contained in the analysis. The field called Risk Analysis Type can be used to describe the type of risk analysis you have just started. Risk analysis types and security classifications are created in the Administration tool under Manage Classes. Name the risk analysis in the description field. The person responsible for the analysis must be indicated in the field marked Analysis Leader. Now state the background of the analysis in the background field. In addition, you should describe the scope of the analysis. The scope can, for example, be a specific part of a process. Finally, fill in the names of the persons involved in the risk analysis. The control buttons at the bottom right are used to navigate the program. Use the Risk Description section to identify and document all possible risks that fall within the scope of the analysis defined earlier. Choose risks from the suggestions or create your own by filling in the blue field. All risks and the respective flaws and measures are saved in the RISKsolution database. This means that over time, the database becomes tailored specifically for your particular needs. Click the box to the column to the left of the risk to select it for further analysis, or simply click Select All. After identifying the risks, continue to the next step of the risk analysis. The impact of a risk incident is described in the risk assessment part of the analysis. To add a description, click the symbol to the right of the risk to be described. Then type the impact description in the text field. It is important to be clear and precise in this step, since the description you give here will be used later in the process when you make a more detailed assessment of the risk. It is now time to assess the probability of each risk actually occurring and the consequences. The tables to the right may be edited and can help you complete this task. These tables define the probability, consequence, and risk value. The risk value equals the probability index multiplied by the consequence index. After assessing all risks, select the risk you want to further analyze. Then continue with the risk analysis. All weaknesses that may lead to a risk incident are identified in the weakness description part of the analysis. The risks are listed to the left, and you document the weakness in the column to the right. Indicate the risk for which you want to document a weakness. By clicking the arrow in the blue field, you can select from the list of suggestions or create a new weakness by typing it in the same field. Identify the weaknesses linked to all risks and then select the risks you want to continue with in the analysis. Then continue to the next step of the risk analysis. The measures that may be taken to reduce or eliminate the documented weaknesses are identified in the measure description part of the analysis. Indicate the risk and the weakness for which you want to document a measure. Then click the arrow in the blue field to the right of the weakness to see suggestions of already existing measures, or create a new measure by typing it in the same field. The benefit of a measure is also assessed in this step of the analysis. The benefit indicates how effectively a measure can be expected to reduce a weakness and is stated on a scale from 10 to 100%. Identify measures for all weaknesses linked in each risk. This ends the risk analysis. The summary of the risk analysis contains statistics of the analysis. Click the blue text in the table to the right to see the measures expected to reduce or eliminate more than one weakness. You may also create a report or move on to create an action plan linked to the finished risk analysis. To create a new action plan, click Open Action Plan. Select the risks you want to include in the action plan. Make your selections by marking the desired boxes in the left column and then continue to the next step. It is now time to make cost assessments of the selected risks. It is the cost of one single incident of a risk that is assessed. The impact descriptions created earlier in the risk analysis can be of help in completing this task. Click in the Occurrence Cost column to indicate the costs of one risk incident. Input the cost by using the calculator function. In the column for comments, describe in words the incident costs of the risks. The purpose of this is to clarify what the cost assessments are based on. The column for damage cost to the far right is calculated automatically. The damage cost is based on the estimated risk incident cost combined with the probability of the risk occurring. Estimate and make a comment regarding the incident cost of each risk. Then continue to the next step of creating the action plan. In this step, the user assesses the cost of the measures. Start by indicating the risk and the weakness for which you want to estimate the measured cost. Provide measure costs that include both initial costs, meaning the direct costs, and variable costs, such as costs related to service and support agreements. Then make a comment about the sum of each measure's cost. The purpose of this is to clarify what the estimated costs are based on. Then continue to the next step in creating the action plan. It is now time to select which measures to include in the final action plan. The benefit effects can be of help when making the selections. The benefit effects show the yearly economic savings in years 1 through 5 and are based on the comparison of the estimated cost of one risk incident and the estimated measure cost. Now select the measures you want to use in the final action plan by marking the desired boxes to the left of the measures. After making your selections, continue to the next step. In this step of the process, some details about the action plan need to be documented. How will the selected measures be implemented? Who are the stakeholders of the project? When will the project begin? And when will the project be finished? Who is responsible for the project? How will the project be followed up on? Once all measures have been planned, it is time to complete the action plan. The summary contains statistics of the action plan. A final report may be created, or you may continue to the follow-up at a later point in time. To follow up on implemented measures, click Proceed to Follow-up. All completed measures can be marked in the Action Plan Follow-up. Indicate a measure has been completed by clicking in the column Implemented. Then document the date of completion and the name of the person responsible. You can also type a comment about the implementation. Once a measure has been indicated as completed, it becomes marked with a green check mark throughout the risk analysis and the action plan. The development of the action plan is now finished. Thank you for participating in this demonstration of RISKsolution.